The U.S. airstrike came in the middle of the night. Later, the Pentagon tweeted, "This strike was aimed at deterring future Iranian attack plans." Donald Trump, usually very active on Twitter, tweeted only this image. Iranian state TV confirmed the death of General Qassem Soleimani. Iran's top security body called an urgent meeting for Friday. Foreign Minister Mohammad Jawad Zarif tweeted, "The U.S. act of international terrorism targeting and assassinating General Soleimani is extremely dangerous and a foolish escalation." The U.S. government has accused Soleimani of having a key role in fighting in Syria and Iraq. He reported directly to the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. The airstrike also killed the deputy commander of the Iranian-backed militias known as the Popular Mobilization Forces. The U.S. has accused the group of being behind the recent attack on the U.S. embassy in Baghdad. Experts say the death of Soleimani could be a turning point in the Middle East and potentially draw retaliation from Iran and the forces it backs in the region against Israel and U.S. interests.
Okay, so what happens next? For more on that, I'm joined here in the studio by Amir Musawy. He's an Iraqi journalist here in Berlin, just back from Baghdad. Good day to you, Amir, and a U.S. political analyst, Rachel Rizzo. Good day, Rachel. Nice to have you as well on the show. Amir, first to you. How and where do you think Iran will respond, as it says it will, to the killing of Soleimani?
I think the main area that they are going to respond will be Iraq. Within the Iraq, the American soldiers, that we're talking about more than 10,000 American soldiers based in Iraq, and they could be the next target for Iranian influence in Iraq.
Okay, any specific areas in Iraq where those soldiers might be hit?
The airbase of the island in close to the border, Iraqi-Syrian borders, I think would be in Anbar city, in Anbar province, would be the first, and the second also within Kirkuk. We have also some troops within Baghdad, close to the airport. The airport area in the international Baghdad area, there is a military base of the American troops. They could be also trying to prevent them to land and to take off from the military airports there.
Okay, so a number of potential targets. Rachel, as the powerful head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, of Al-Quds, Soleimani has been in the crosshairs of the U.S. before. They had an opportunity to kill him before, but they didn't. They did now. Why do you think they chose this time?
So this, according to the United States, this is in response to recent escalations in Iraq, an attack that killed a U.S. contractor, and after Christmas, an attack on the U.S. embassy in Baghdad. The question is, as you mentioned before, is what does the escalation look like now, and how exactly is Iran going to respond, and is the United States ready for that response?
Okay, are its positions in Iraq specifically hardened enough to take whatever Iran might be delivering or planning? Amir, what was Soleimani's role in Iraq? The U.S. indicated, as Rachel was mentioning, that he was behind the attack on the embassy. What was he doing specifically in Iraq?
Well, if we go directly for this question, we are not going to have enough evidence that he is involved in this demonstration against the U.S. embassy in Iraq. But if we go back to that months or years, there is many reports talked about that Mr. Soleimani was also in charge attacking American soldiers since back to 2006 and 2007 against U.S. troops in Iraq. He was the main figure that also fight against Islamic State in Iraq. That's why some Iraqis still sympathizing with him. But there is many reports that Soleimani is the main figure facing the American interests in the whole region in the Middle East.
Okay, Rachel, what do you think has been the response, or is going to be the response of the United States. America has a long history of difficulties with Iran. The hostage-taking in 1979, the Lebanese Marine barracks attack during the Reagan administration. How is America going to respond politically and the public as well?
Well, I think that the Trump administration, I mean, given what he tweeted after the attack, just an American flag, he'll use this to drum up support amongst his base, and we'll see this sort of divided amongst political lines. Democrats, a few have already said, you know, Soleimani has American blood on his hands, but this was an escalation for which we're not prepared. And a lot of Republicans saying that finally, you know, Iran has been punching the U.S. in the nose in the region for a while now, and this escalation is something that they should have seen coming. I think that the U.S. has to sit back now and sort of work behind the scenes within their national security apparatus, within actors in the region, to be prepared for a response from the Iranians that might not come immediately, but that will eventually come.
Okay, Amir, what is going to be the response inside Iraq? What's the Iraqi government going to do? Is Iraq stable still at this point? We've heard from Muqtada al-Sadr, the al-Mahdi army in Iran. How stable is Iraq after this killing?
About Muqtada al-Sadr, he has a Mahdi army who was responsible attacking the American troops in 2006 and 2007. He reactivated that army again.
As a result of this killing?
As a result of that result. And also the Iraqi government chief, Abdel Mahdi, called the parliament together to have an official response for that attack. And I think there is many of Iraqi politicians is now trying to find a solution, because Iraq stuck between the United States and Iran, and Iraq could pay a very hard cost of that escalation in Iraq, because the battlefield will be Iraq, definitely.
Rachel, is America prepared for an escalation in terms of public sentiment? I mean, the long war in Afghanistan, now a re-escalation in Iraq. Is America ready for that?
Look, the United States is war-weary. No one wants a war with Iran. No one wants an escalation with Iran. So I think that, like I said before, we'll see this sort of divided amongst political lines within the United States. But I think what's important right now is for Congress to, push back and make sure that an all-out war doesn't happen, because no one is ready for that and no one wants that.
Political analysts Rachel Rizzo and Amir Musawy, thanks to both of you for coming in this morning.